Bond. James Bond.
Welcome, adjudicators, to another episode of Disputed, where two fictional characters go head-to-head armed with only their advocates, and you will decide the outcome. Everything is disputed. Hey, nerds. Hey nerds, I'm Damon, father of two, husband of one, aka Demons Are Forever, aka The Ghost Protocol. You may know me from such podcasts as Demon Does, A Different World Pod, 10 Phony Punches, and the upcoming library podcast, The Stack. And now it is my plum-pleasing pleasure to bring to you my comrade. Tell him what your name is.
Alliteration is hard, isn't it? Hello, friends, enemies, and those shouting into the void. I'm Dean, podcasting ninja, Letterkenny resident, jester to the Queens of Woodcrest, former amateur astronaut, and the guy who can find your remote. Yeah, go look under the dog's blanket. That's where it is. You're welcome. Oh, man. How's it going, Demond?
Fantastic. How are you?
Better than most, not as good as some.
Fair enough.
Oh man. So, last episode. Last week we did our fix of Indiana Jones, how we would do it. And I thought that was pretty good. But I mean, the debate between Tiara and Riley, it was tough. And, what we ended up with, a tie.
Right?
50-50. Oh man, dead heat. I knew it was going to be tight, but I had no idea it was going to be, a tie. So, props to Riley and Tiara for advocating their little hearts out. But I think this may require a follow-up dispute.
I'm in. I'm not sure how we're gonna. We need a sudden death or.
I don't know.
I don't know how we're gonna do that.
We may have to pit them individually against other adventurers, and then see, kind of figure it out from there, tally it up.
There it is. Now I got it. Now I'm like, okay, now what adventures can we use? Right on.
So, it was a good episode. I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to more. And tonight's is going to be awesome. So, are you ready to start bringing in our guests here?
Absolutely.
All right. So I'm gonna bring in Nikki here. Our first advocate today hails from Kelowna, BC. That's in Canada, folks. Host of the Crispy Pickles podcast, I can only guess that she came up with the name after being the only person in her dentist to ever see spraying a tooth. Perhaps it happened from a particularly clumsy student in her ballroom dancing class. Who's to say? Known to her parents as Boo, welcome to the show, Nikki Hart. Nikki, how are ya?
I'm good. Very
So,
good.
who are you advocating for, and
I am
why?
advocating
And
for-
why?
Oh,
Why are you? Who are you advocating for? Why? And what do you bring to the table?
Okay, no pressure. So I'm advocating for the one and only License to Kill 007 James Bond. Yes,
Great.
I know, amazing. Why Sir Christopher Lee?
All right.
Fair enough.
And what I bring to the table, a lot of sass, a lot of attitude, and I will bullshit till they believe me.
I like
Or
the
something
sound of
like
that. I like the sound of that a lot. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this debate. I think it's going to be good. So, Demond, if you're ready, let's bring in Squirrely Matt here.
Our next advocate for the evening is yet another Canadian. This time from the wilds of Toronto, Ontario. He's one of the co-hosts of the Produce Stand Letterkenny Fan Podcast, father of 3, craft beer enthusiast, and once proved that one cannot jump into a hammock. He's propelled from a bridge, bungeed off a crane, and once went skydiving with a fella named Danger Dave. If you follow him on I'm messing this all up. If you follow him on social media, you'll know him as Dude North, but we just know him as Swirly Man. Squirrely Mad, how are you now?
What's up, guys? What's up? What's up?
He gave you the "How are you now, man"? Come on, figure it out.
Oh, fuck, eh? One job. Yes, Al. It's only one job. And
Oh, for fuck's sake! Give your balls a tug, you tit fucker.
I only run one other podcast. And I can't even get the lingo right, so this is not a good start to the show.
Well, we're gonna start with it. I tried to give you a layup, so I'm just gonna give you a chest pass here. Basketball references from Kentucky. So, anyway, who are you advocating for? Why are you advocating for him? And what do you bring to the table?
Well, the first question, I am advocating for the one and only Ethan Hunt, the IMF agent from the Mission Impossible series, the legend himself. Why am I here? Well, I mean, one of the biggest reasons, when a friend asks for help, you help them. But I am such a fan of anything spy related. So you put James Bond, you put Ethan Hunt in a room together, I'm in, and this is going to be a blast. So, I mean, what do I bring? I bring a lifetime of fandom and excitement. And listen, I'm just as much a Bond fan as I am a Ethan Hunt fan. So this is going to be a fun one. There is some sore spots behind it, but we're going to have a blast. Let's get her down.
Hell yeah. Yeah, this is gonna.
I love it.
Yeah, this is gonna be an awesome one. So yeah, as stated, this episode brings together a dispute of 2 well-known spycraft specialists who are going head-to-head to determine who is the best secret agent. Who are these 2 espionage experts, you asked? Only the 2 most legendary spies ever to blow up the cinema. James Bond versus Ethan Hunt. So here are the timings of everything. So Advocate 1, which will be Nikki, Advocate 2 will be Matt. Opening statements are 5 minutes each with a 2-minute rebuttal from your opponent. After that, we will give questions. Demond and I will give questions to each of you. Demond will give a question to Nikki. I will give a question to Matt. 2-minute responses on each of those, and then we will have closing arguments. Now, if you go under your time, you will get to bank that time. So if as we go along, if you say on your opening statement, you only spend 4 minutes, you'll get an extra minute that you can use anywhere else in your arguments. All right. And then, and Demond and I also have the capability we are at our discretion to extend time by 30 seconds as needed. All right. Questions?
Let's get her done.
Well, yeah, we're getting some comments already. So,
Because I fucked up the one and only job I had.
so yeah, Al is from the Produce Stand podcast, and then we got this from the wife. So, because I found the remote before I left, so I was a good boy. So,
Good call.
all right. So, and one of the things that I forgot to do was to load the timers onto my soundboard, but that's okay. I have a clock on here that I can use, and I will set 5 minutes on it. And Nikki, if you're ready, let's see. I'm going to do this here, and we're going to go like that. And if you're ready,
I'm big.
yeah, but you're beautiful. All right.
No, you're
When you're-
close.
When you're ready, let's get it.
All right. James Bond. Best gadgets. Classy AF. I'm Canadian. I struggle with swearing. It's a total lie, but anyways, sorry. So he's classy. The way he carries himself, he's romantic and so decisive. He's level-headed. He can walk into an exploding building and walk out and just have to brush some dust off his lapel. He's James Bond. Also, can we talk about the fact that he's been around for how many decades and still going strong? And I think I'm going to bank my time.
Oh my! You're banking 4 minutes and 10 seconds basically. So let me write that down so you can. All right. So, well, Matt, are you ready for your rebuttal to?
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, she
Hit it.
gave me enough. She gave me enough to go on there, Nikki.
there you go.
I like that you even threw a sorry in follow up to your apology, so it was great.
We
Listen.
gotta.
Yeah. It's I love it. Bring it. Listen, your boy Bond. I'm a fan, but there's some major flaws. And just in rebuttal, what you said there, talking about gadgets. I mean, they are the most hyper specific, overly convenient gadgets in the world that get his ass out of the most inconvenient situations imaginable. So let's not give those things too much credit. He pulls them out at the most opportune time because they're there. That's it. They're not giving him much. Classy, yeah, I'll give you that one. He's been around. He knows how to woo and do his thing. But listen, a guy who's been around for what do you say, 40, 50 years? He's clearly got some kind of a personality disorder because I've seen at least 4 or 5 different versions of this guy. So I don't know. He needs to figure himself out, and he figured it out quick because it's been a long time and he still doesn't know who the hell he is. I will bank.
All right. You're banking 50 seconds.
Banking on that.
All right, but so now, Matt, if you're still ready, let's go with your opening statement in favor of Mr. Ethan Hunt.
Let's do
Go.
it. I'm never ready, but I'll do it anyways. So I've struggled on this one. I mean, I've been thinking about this. Been thinking about how I was going to position myself, and I mean, really, what it came down to. Listen, like I said, I've been a fan. I grew up watching Bond. I love the guy. When Mission Impossible hit the scene, I fell in love overnight. These things were amazing, and my boy Ethan Hunt he came to fight. Don't mention that. We're not going to talk about height here, Al. Don't worry. That's not relevant, and his size actually I think works to his advantage. But listen, what it came down to was I want to know if I was running my own secret organization and I needed someone at the table who I wanted to go and fight my battles and take down syndicates and do all this crazy shit all over the world. Who do I want? Do I want A, the alcoholic frat boy womanizer who was one dead escort away from being Archer? Or do I want the family guy who has an emotion, who wears it on his sleeve, who's highly educated, double majoring in his engineering and international relations from Penn U, coming out of there with summa cum laude? Like, this guy is smart as hell. And what he does best, I think, is he leans on his people. He can do it independent. He's proven it many times, but he knows how to work his people, and he gains this loyalty with them, then brings them to the table to help him be successful. Like, he is the definition of an optimal leader, and they are successful again and again and again, leveraging all the best people around him. The guys that keep coming back to the table, his Luther, his Benjis, these guys are come to his call at the moment notice because they trust the guy, they love the guy, and they know he's in the right place at the right time. So listen, there's a ton of things you can say about these guys, but it's who do I want at the table if I'm running my organization? And every single time it's going to be Ethan Hunt, right? Little man syndrome. Listen, I'm not liking this. This is supposed to be my friend, and then I'm getting bashed here. But
I'm loving this chat thing.
I know, I love it. This is awesome. But I mean, it's fun. So there's differences in the two guys, right? They have different things at the table. And I know you're going to talk about Bond and his independence and how he drives that, but he is a dated character who doesn't know what century's in and just keeps playing this thing. They've tried to evolve him over the years, and I think he's still stuck. He needs to step it up, move into the 21st century, and bring a new flavor of awesome. And I think that's what he's lacking. You know, I saw it somewhere else on the internet, and they really compared the two. They say you got James Bond, who's the cynic. Ethan Hunt is your optimist, and he's always coming in with this positive attitude, ready to shine. And that's why I love the guy. And I will bank my time.
All right, you get a minute 50 after that. Nikki, hang on a second. Let me reset my clock here. And if you are ready, let's hear your rebuttal to that.
Okay, a lot of points. You are not wrong. He absolutely has the most specific random gadgets that are good for one purpose only. Who has any room anywhere for a one-use tool? Nobody.
Yeah.
However, the way he uses them is magical to kids, young boys, teenagers, adults. Everybody thinks it's magic. And he has an ejector seat in his car. I need one of those. And I can inject them into
Do you have
sword.
kids?
No, I have a husband and a dog, so I'm good.
Okay.
But no, you're not wrong. He definitely should come to the 21st century. It's maybe not last year or this year, but the 21st century is not a bad place to be. Let's be a little more current, shall we? And I'm hearing rumors about the most current movie that I believe got released today in the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hearing some things about it. I'm very interested to see, but it's sounding like some Bond girl kicked his ass. But anyways, yeah. So
in a sexy
there's
way.
still hope. Sounds like she just out-bonded him.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Even better.
Right. So there's hope for him to come to the 21st century with Mr. Ethan Hunt, which I cannot tell you how many times I had to have somebody tell me what his name was because I call him the Mission Impossible dude. Yes, I'm super well researched for today. He's from the previews that I've seen. He's hot-headed. He runs in, blows shit up, and runs out. Where's the finesse? Where's the love? Where's the, I got this? You can trust me. You look at James Bond, you can trust him. I don't get that same thing with Mr. Hunt. He just looks like he's just going to blow shit up because he wants to blow shit up. And I'm going to bank.
All right, you went over. You went over a little bit, but yeah, you're still good. You've got.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all right. You're okay. You got 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes banked now. Yeah, so we're good there.
My own little timer.
Demond,
Yes.
do you have any questions for Nikki?
Of course I do.
All right.
Okay, so I'm not sure how. Okay, so Ethan, they're very different types of spies. Like Squirrely mentioned, I like calling him Squirrely. You're not getting his first name anymore. Um, Ethan Hunt's a team player. IMF is always a team. That's more of a heist.
Sorry to the comment. No, that was Mr. Hunt.
That's
Oh,
Mr.
okay.
Hunt. Do you think Bond could work well in IMF as a part of a more at least the movies I've seen, more subtle? Could Bond do more subtle things? Because Bond does most of I see a lot of Bond blowing stuff up as well. So can Bond do teamwork, and can Bond do more subtleties?
Oh, Bond cannot teamwork. He's made that crystal clear. We do not give Bond teamwork points at all, ever. I think they tried to have him do teamwork once, and I think either he killed the partner or the partner got killed because he left him behind. So yeah, no, Bond's gonna epically fail on the teamwork.
Fair enough.
I can't.
Can't defend what can't be defended.
It's
Fair
true.
enough.
Yeah. All right. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. So Matt, I'm going to give my question over to Tiara, who's left this question right here. Ethan chose to separate from his wife to keep her safe. Does Bond feel that strongly about anyone?
Damn.
So Bond only does Bond feel anyone? So this is to me, eh?
Yeah, this is to you. It's
Feels
and
like it'd be more in support of Bond, but I'll take the reins if that's what you want me to do here.
yeah, because I
Yeah,
may
I
have
mean-
another question.
Yeah.
Because I get to.
Yeah.
another
So
one too,
the Ethan and Julia relationship for sure. There was some little covertness to all that as well. You know, there was a separation there. Hid the truth. Brandt thought that he had actually let her die. There's a lot going on there, but all that just to save her, keep her safe. She recognized that he was doing something powerful in his work, and he wanted to keep her safe. So they've got the love ongoing, and I hope she makes a return in future things. Bond doesn't connect with people. He's kind of an emotionless shell, and I think that's why it's hard. I mean, my boy Ethan is very relatable, especially through the whole Julia relationship. Bond, it's hard to say. He only had one of those situations, which I think they really did a good job in Casino Royale with Vesper there. And yeah, he got connected. But as soon as that all fell apart and she died, he imploded. And I don't know whether that was just his...
He became the
coping
Punisher.
He became the Punisher, yeah. And then he never trusted a woman again. And it's... I don't know if that's the right way. There's some unhealthy personality traits that he should check out. But no, I mean, he would have done that, I think, for her. But we lost her in Royale, so
True.
you know.
Now, my
there was no one else.
follow-up question for you is, Ethan works with Benji and Luther, and usually someone else. Could he work on his own like Bond does?
Absolutely. I think that's, I mean, I don't think that they make him who he is. I think they just enhance who he is. You know, this man, like I said, he's highly trained. He's done military. He was a ranger. He's been through the reigns. He's done it all. But he, like any good leader, recognizes that you bring good people around you just makes you better. And that's why he excels. So you take away his people, and he's still going to come to the table and do what he can and improvise. But what he does best with or without a team is he's got a bit of a plan. It doesn't always go well. Sometimes it strays. Like any plan, you can't anticipate every move. But his ability to adapt and improvise to any situation is what really helps him excel. So yes, I think he can.
So, yeah.
Only a couple of them, Al.
I think Al should come help me.
Al's busting balls up in here, man.
This is my co-host who's busting my balls through this.
Well, here's one for Nikki right there. So,
Not wrong. Not wrong. So
yeah.
Bond better.
So yeah. So Nikki, how would how do you think Ethan would work with Q and M? If he was forced in that situation.
He'd probably be okay with Q. Q seemed like he could work with anybody. It's Q. And who doesn't love Q? I wish that the character was Q defending, because that would be easy.
He's the real star here. Let's get real.
For real. With M, how would Ethan feel about a really, really bossy female boss? That's what could be tricky. That is one thing I did respect about Bond, is he did respect M. Yes, he also shat on her, but when M gave him task to go do, he went and did.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I mean, I think, M has been up until Ralph Fiennes. I mean, because it was all one M basically throughout the entire series. And then Judi Dench's M gets killed, and then Ralph Fiennes comes in to be the new M, right? Yeah. And so
Judi Dench is the M.
Oh yeah, who doesn't love Judi Dench? I mean, she's awesome.
I think
how
we're
she
four
went
on that
was
one.
so poetic and sad and everything all at once.
Yeah,
but,
you can say that Ethan has had 2 directors killed right in front of him. So
there's a lot of betrayal in the IMF.
I mean, he almost gets his ass beat by Superman. Who does? We watched that one last night. I mean, Henry Cavill cocking his guns. I'm like, that's just awesome. That just that little bit made the whole movie worthwhile. I mean, Henry, and I will say this about Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill does a great American accent. Because I can often tell, if it's a Brit doing an American accent by the way they say. How do you say B-E-E-N? B-E-E-N. You too.
Bean.
Yeah. So Americans say Ben.
That's not a word.
No, I understand that, but that's how Americans pronounce it. So whenever I hear bean or against, I know they're not American.
What do you say, against?
Against.
Yeah.
Against. But yeah, my mother-in-law says against. So it's all right. So hang on, we have a few other pop-ups here. I'm going to bring in one that hasn't come in. So hear me out. Emotionless and lack of connection is kind of ideal for covert stuff. So
love you, Heather.
Can't disagree with that. Oh yeah, and Tiara says her mom also says Washington. So
Can I comment? Am I allowed to comment with the rules here?
Yeah, you can comment unless we tell you shut up.
All right, so I want to comment on the covert thing and loop back to something Nikki already talked about: is who is Ethan Hunt, right? Here's the catch to why that is such an accurate statement, because he is the definition of covert. Not like Mr. James Bond, who walks into a room in front of his enemies and say, "Hey, I'm James Bond." Bond. James Bond. He announces
in case you missed it the first time.
So if they didn't know they were coming, then they catch you like, "Oh, that's the British spy. We better start trailing him," to then leads to him getting his ass caught every single time. So you don't know who Ethan Hunt is because he's the master of disguise. He's the chameleon, right? He's a man of many faces, and he, captures the idea of covert to its true sense.
Very true. Al, and this one's for me from Al. And then he says Bond is bad at being a spy. I think Bond doesn't care if he's known that he's a spy, because he thinks he knows he's more clever than everybody else, and he's going to find a way. So when they release the ridiculously slow dipping mechanism, and then he's gonna get killed by sharks with frickin' lasers on their heads.
Still
I
waiting for that
appreciate
one
his
to come out.
efficiency though.
Yeah. So do you have any other questions, Demond?
Actually, I do, but I'm not really sure who to ask this for. Because it's about it's about James Bond. How would you save him from being a relic from the Cold War, or is he still just a relic from the Cold War, from his incarnations all the way up until whatever the movie just got released today, right?
Yeah.
Yes, today.
Premiere in the UK, yeah.
So how would you save him from being a relic from the Cold War? Anybody, anyone? Because we had
I'm going to
mentioned
leave
them
that one to
earlier.
the advocate.
There's a few different ways that I've heard people propose of how can we make James Bond not just chauvinistic white dude.
Hmm.
I've heard let's bring in a person of color to be Bond.
Hmm.
I think the character of James Bond could absolutely use a little bit of color.
Weren't they teetering on Idris Elba for a bit there?
They were,
I
yeah.
heard there was rumors that he might take over the role, which would have been fantastic.
But yeah, he's
hoping.
got, yeah, I think he's aged himself out of it though, from what most folks say. Now I did
Black
hear
don't crack,
something.
man.
What's that?
I said black don't crack. Nobody noticed.
He's gonna have to
You
shave his
realize
beard or dye it with that Just for Men.
You realize Idris Elba
Hey!
is 175 years old? Thank you.
I can't. You can't deny that. I mean, yeah, Henry Cavill's a pretty man.
Fair.
Yeah. I'm not. I'm okay with Brie Larson. Actually, you know what? I mean,
You know?
Brie Larson's American. So, the one that I heard rumor of, and I'm all on board for, is Phoebe Waller-Bridge, because she's in the movie, and I think she did some writing for it as well. So, she's fantastic. So,
Right on.
so yeah, Tiara said she would have watched the one regarding Idris Elba. So.
Me and you too, girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm
I
all
was
for.
excited when
How
I heard
about
that.
I could see Richard Iowati being the new Q, because that would be brilliant. And if you know who Richard Moss from IT Crowd, oh man, so yeah,
God, I live under a rock.
Oh yeah,
You guys are throwing
yes, I
out
knew
these amazing
exactly
names, and I'm like,
yeah, Richard Iowati is brilliant. He would he would make because he is a total geek, and he'd make a great Q.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not wrong there.
Yeah. So yeah, when you have a chance, look up Richard Iowati. Damon, you have anything else, or you want to do your recap, or?
I do not have anything else, but another great one in the books, man. We're having more interaction. Alan's been busting chops. I'm ready to fight that dude after the short comment. You want some? Come get it. I'm actually,
We'll
I'm
have you on the
2
poster
inches
stand,
shorter.
Damon.
I'm actually 2 inches shorter than Tom Cruise's listed height. So
And Tom Cruise is 2 inches shorter than you.
Are you sitting on an apple box right now, my friend?
say what?
Are you sitting on an apple box right now, my friend?
I'm sitting on my youngest child's shoulders.
Well,
No, another great show, man, and we had a definite contrast of styles with the solo artist versus the team player, the alcoholic womanizer versus the family guy, the cynic versus the optimist, and it was. And we had Squirrely versus Nikki, who, by the way, I've been meaning to comment on this every time I see your profile. Your hair is awesome. And
Thank you.
you are
Mine?
welcome.
No.
I stand. Yeah, that's dope.
oh
That's
yeah,
good
you win
stuff.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hold on, let me
so-
show y'all mine real quick.
I see you've got the
Oh,
I see you've got the bisexual blue in there. So
yeah, so my wedding colors were purple and teal. This was the closest I could find.
Yo,
very
Sure.
nice. Very
And
nice.
I'm like, I dig it.
word.
Al doesn't want any of your beef, Damon, so he's making up.
No, that's because he also has no hair.
Hey,
Just call it what it is.
Bald Boys Unite. Yeah, there
Bald
it is.
boys, bald boys.
We'll just say I brought enough hair to share with Damon.
There you go. All right. So, Damon, you got recap for us, or shall you got anything else, or are we good? Or should I?
That was it for the recap, man.
All right, cool.
It was just a very nice clash of
Oh yeah,
styles.
I agree. I agree.
It was the pairing was perfect. Our advocates were perfect for these pairings. This
Definitely
has been another, it's another great show, man. I really enjoyed it. And you guys are fantastic.
Very polite Canadian smack talk.
And there was
I mean, if it was hockey, it would be a lot different, I'm sure. So, but yeah. So, Nikki, you have anything you would like to promote? I would, if you have, any links, anything you want to give, and also send them to me later so I can throw them in the show notes.
Yes, I will send Dean the links once I can figure out the Book of Face and how to do all that techie stuff. I verge on being a boomer some days. Anyways, but I host Crispy Pickles. We have been silent for about a year. However, I have a new episode that I'm probably going to be dropping next week. That's actually going to be a two-parter, my first two-parter. So sorry, Kate, you weren't the first two-parter. Anyways, she'll forgive me.
We love you, Kate.
And so my big thing is my Crispy Pickles, and it's just stories of everyday life, and damn, they hit deep.
how do we find Crispy Pickles?
You can find me on Facebook, Crispy Pickles Podcast, and you can try me on Twitter, but I don't open my Twitter, so I would leave that one alone. But yeah, just look for I'm on Spotify and Apple
and all that stuff, all the good ones.
Yeah, just on Apple and Spotify, and unless you're on Spreaker, I don't get out much.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
So you can find me there. I'm on Spotify at least, anyway.
All right, Mr. Matt, let's give us your plugs.
Yeah, absolutely. So honestly, first off, this was a blast, guys. Thank you so much for having me. This was so. I was excited this all week. This really was a high. We got to move our produce stand schedule around a bit for this, and twice, thanks to you, Dean. So I appreciate that. And
sorry about that.
All good, my friend. All good. So absolutely. If you want to follow me, I'm at the Dude North on Twitter. I'm approaching the 500 follower limit, so pretty excited. I'm almost there. But again, I'm, as you said at the beginning, I'm a co-host of the Produce Stand podcast, which is a tribute show to the great Canadian show Letterkenny. So if you're a fan of Letterkenny, or just a fan of friendly banter, check us out. You can find us at Produce Stand Pod on Twitter, or basically anywhere you find your podcast. Just search the Produce Stand Pod, and you will find us. So. Come out and check us out. Thanks.
Yeah, and I love these guys. I'm on just about every recap episode they have because of How Are You Now, and so yeah, we have cross-border Letterkenny love.
Yeah, it's such a fun community, and Dean, thanks so much. I know when we first started our season, we're approaching. So I think we're into season 8 right now, actually. But at the end of every season, Dean's been nice enough to come out and join us and give his thoughts on the show, as he's the super fan of the internets for sure. And we love having him. So this is the crossover here, and I love the community behind Letterkenny and the whole podcast world. It's just such a blast. So thanks to everyone out there listening, taking part, and just supporting this whole blast of a time.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
I might actually watch Letterkenny now.
There you go. It's on the Hulu's.
Show or two.
And now we're talking. Now I asked. Side note: I asked Tiara. I said, "Are we going to have to start a Shoresy podcast now?" And she goes, "You're going to have to hook up with the guys from Produce Stand and make one."
We'd have you, buddy. Don't worry.
All right, Devon, you want to close us out here?
I do.
For next episode.
There it is. That's what I thought you were talking about. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. In 2 weeks. 2 weeks. We will cover.
Oh wait, hang on. I forgot something here, real important. Everybody can go vote now.
Vote.
Go vote. disputedpod.com/bond-v-hunt. It'll take you there. You can vote for who you think did the best job of advocating for their character. And if you want to, you can also buy our merch. disputedpod.com/merch. So I'm sorry. Continue, Devon.
As I was. 2
Oh.
weeks from today.
You made me so happy.
2 weeks. We will cover two of the most iconic pop culture vampires as Advocate's Tim O'Leary goes up against Awesome to debate Cassidy from Preacher versus Spike from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So until
fun
next time, I'm Damon.
I'm Dean. And remember,
Everything is disputed.
thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed the episode and that you will go vote for your winner. We give a huge thanks to our guests and their advocacy for their characters. And finally, we'd like to thank the artists who created the music that helps make our show so great. We've got Hard Fight by Tajirigis, Fight Club by Evil Bear Boris, Fight Makes Right by Atake, and This Party Sucks by Done With Fish. You can find all of them on freemusicarchive.org. Thanks.